pressed for time. But I'd really like to hear from David and Laurie in terms of practical strategies or personal strategies that you've employed to helping you navigate the concept of black tax, and what life hacks you've used to, get there nonetheless.
Right. So I happen to be a fourth born of 8 children, unlike you, Annie. So we like double you guys, but um, and so obviously, having 4 younger siblings has had, a big impact on my paying of black tax. And at some point, I even had all my younger siblings either in high school or in college stroke university. And on your up, you're like trying to really support them all through that with school fees and tuition and all that. And so the 3 things that I think are really helpful that I use as a strategy. The first one is like to plan around it, to budget around it. Um, because I remember back in the day when I would just um, send money as is requested. And I found that that can be a pitfall to actually overspending on black tax, for example. So what I think is very helpful is plan around it. If there are people that you have to support, think about, per month or the period at which you get some income, how much do you need to support them with? And I
Is
think
it
this
just
really
me?
helps.
Oh, I think David's screen is frozen. I can't seem to hear him anymore.
It
Oh,
might be
really?
on your end.
David, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you,
I
Chioma.
hear you.
Okay, we lost you for a second there.
Yeah. Well, I think Laurie and Annie said they were hearing me.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. Okay.
So I was talking about budgeting. So I think it's very important to budget for the expected because, as I said, there is some things that you really expect maybe to support in. Then there's another category which is the unexpected, and I think for that one, it's important also to budget for that. Maybe set aside some little amount of money for these random requests and that kind of thing, so that actually when you run out of that budget item, then you're actually aware. So I think that's
Right.
one aspect, which is one thing which is very important. Budget for the expected black tax, but also unexpected bit of it.
Right. Right.
Um, and then the second thing is to commit. Now, the rest of the resources for the young professionals, what I found helpful, especially for me, commit your income to building your future or building, your best future that you want to have. And this could
Right.
be in some investments, in getting yourself something nice, maybe, I don't know, something that you want to do for yourself, for your growth, professionally, financially. Commit. And I think the importance of committing your finances is when someone asks for the money and you tell them, I don't have the money because you paid for your, deposit, let's say for your property, actually you don't have the money. When you say you don't have it, you don't have it. But
Right.
actually you've committed that money to going into something very um, important for you for the future. So that is really going to ensure your growth. And at the same time for committing, just save some money, because I realize part of solving the black tax problem is actually solving the problem on our parts, making sure that yourself, on the little things that you may need to spend on, little emergencies here and there, your health emergencies if they come up, you are covered for that. So it's good to save a little bit as you commit the rest for projects that are going to ensure financial stability for you in the future.
Right.
And the last thing
Right.
is to be comfortable saying no. Once you've exhausted your budget for black tax, and you've committed your money to projects, and you saved something for your future unexpected emergencies, then be comfortable saying no politely and being
Right.
very firm on it. So, and these are the 3 things that I would say I found very helpful over the years.
Thank you very much. And just to recap for those of us who may have been cut off somehow, the first one you said to plan around it, which is pretty much to have a budget. And the second one you said to commit your finance to your future. So put a portion of what it is that you've earned for that period into something that benefits your future. Because the truth is, if it benefits your future, it still in the end benefits the extended people who also benefit from you. So you're doing everybody a whole world of good by doing that. And lastly, you said to be comfortable with saying no. No is a complete sentence. I think this also ties with managing the guilt that Annie had also tried to help us to understand how we can better manage the guilt when we say no or when we put a boundary and we stick to that boundary. So, Laurie, we have a couple questions, but let's just hear from you and we'll address those questions and hopefully wrap up on the session.
Sure. So I think that the other panelists have actually touched on the important things. I've also done a monthly budget, and I think of it in terms of percentages. I'm looking at how much I have coming in, and I can say 10 to 15% is savings that I'm putting away for myself or for an emergency. And then, I can think another 10 to 15% for whatever need it might be. Unlike the other panelists, I don't have necessarily a regular person or persons every month, but it can be different people. And so when that money is exhausted, it's exhausted. And so that makes the no easier as well because it's there in the budget. And so, if somebody called and needed this for a medical procedure, whatever it is, and I've already provided it, then I'm done. But the other thing that I noted was when I went back to look at an old budget that I did, an old monthly budget, and when I started my first job, like that category was $25. Like that's what I had if somebody was going to contact me for money that month. And I laugh now at how little that was, but I had broken down, all of the expenses I had with apartment and car and, car insurance and things like that. And that was the fact of it. But the other thing I would say is to share the responsibility. So I have siblings as well, and we keep in conversation about it. So who gave to this person or who can give to that person, and or can we come together so that we can help cover the expense for something else that another family member might need. But it also
Right.
means that if one of us is in a tighter situation in one month, then maybe another one of us is in a better position to cover it. So we definitely share that responsibility.
Right. I think that's a very valid point. Sharing the responsibility, especially for those of us who come from a family where there's more than one person, like you do have a sibling. So being able to share that responsibility and putting it as a consolidated figure even sort of helps and reduces the burden on every person. And it also shields the one who doesn't have a lot to give from feeling like they're not pulling their weight, but they're able to still give as much as they can. Let's just address the question that we have in as much time as so 60 seconds if you can. Question one says, how do I find the balance between being generous and taking care of myself? I think we've kind of addressed that with David's 3 tips that he gives to us. So let's just take to question two. How can I explain to my older relatives that I will no longer be able to help as much as I used to? In 60 seconds, how can this person explain to their older relatives that they won't be able to help as they used to? Annie, you've got 60 seconds. Let's go.
How to explain to them? There was a line my mom used a lot when we were growing up, which is, "From what I have, I'm giving you. Make the most you can of that." That works for me. Um, so it's a case of, like you said, somehow $25 worked when that was all you had. That's the level of energy you need to go with. Because again, a taker has no limits. So you kind of have to. I think it's something you have to be firm about. There's no
There's
easy
no way
way
around
around
it.
that.
Yeah. All right, David. Thank you so much, Annie. David, let's hear from you. How can this person explain the older relative? Do you have a different
Right,
perspective?
absolutely. I think I'll paraphrase something that Annie said earlier, which is bring it on the table. If your responsibilities increased somewhere, maybe you're paying school fees, maybe you have a family, your family is growing, be very open about it. And I think when you're very open about it and explain clearly why you're not going to be able to support as you used to, I think then you should not feel guilty, saying no. given that you have other growing expenses. I think that's how I'll do it. Yeah,
I
thank you.
like that. So honesty and being upfront about your reality. Yeah, that really saves a lot of stress. So Laurie, do you have something to add to that?
I agree totally with Ani and David, and I would just add that be prepared for somebody to simply not understand and to just have to
Mm,
sit with that and
right.
accept that sometimes they just won't understand. But your job is to communicate, and once you've done that to the best of your ability, that's all you can do. And then that's more for you to be okay with the fact that the person might be upset or not understand or think that you are, ungrateful, not recognizing what they did for you when you were little or whatever it is, but you have to just accept it at that time if that's the reality for you.
Awesome. Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you to our audience. We've come to the end of today's session. Annie, David, Laurie, you've all been really fantastic. Thank you for your brilliant contributions. And to our audience, we hope that we're able to address your concerns that you had. Please know that after we are done with this session, please head back to the home room. You will see the description. The link is going to be in the description below the stream video. Thank you so much. It's been an honor listening to you and sharing from your insights. And have a wonderful day, everyone. Take care of yourselves.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.